Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I'm Shekhar Gupta at DAV College in Chandigarh. And you know what? There's one thing we've been talking about for some time now, which is the rise of what I call as HMT, the Hindi medium type, or the native among Indian elites. But the other phenomenon also now is, and this new phenomenon, of a new round of creative destruction in Indian business, Indian corporate sector, and Indian commerce. And the two leading lights of both phenomena right here with me, Sachin and Binny Bansal. Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal, nothing to do with each other until you started working together. Founders of Flipkart.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Shekhar.
So, how long has it taken you to come back to DAV College now?
I think I'm here after almost 16 years now.
You
14
too?
years.
14 years. So, DAV to IIT.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you passed your equivalent of class 12 here.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we used to call pre-engineering. Is it still called?
Yeah, it's
still
called pre-engineering. Yeah.
And then IIT-Delhi.
Yes. Yes.
So, so college like this, I see, and we'll go past that area, it has lots of big tradition of people going to the armed forces. And it has produced many war heroes. And then we'll go to your playground. We can also see it's produced many cricket stars. Yes. Kapil Dev, Yuvraj Singh, who used to practice right here. Did the college have a tradition also in commerce, business, entrepreneurship?
Not that I know of. I think not at that time. We didn't have any people who were. I think most of our role models used to be cricket stars at that time.
Such as who?
Such as obviously Kapil Dev used to be a big one. Azharuddin at that time.
You are boys of the late 80s.
Yeah.
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 Early 80s.
Early 80s. Yeah.
Early 80s.
Yeah.
So, how did the college prepare you for going into enterprise? Was it this college? Was it school? Or was it IIT? Or was it none of the above?
Actually, none of the above.
Yeah.
I think no college actually prepared us for getting into entrepreneurship. It was, in fact, college system is actually pretty good at teaching you exactly the opposite. That's what we found, because the conversations in the college are, the professors will come and say, if you don't study, you will not get a good job, right? And that's what the conversations were all about. I think it's mostly after IIT that we really realized that actually where our passions lie could only be fulfilled by something with our own entrepreneurial venture.
But you were not exactly batchmates.
Yeah. We were 1 year apart. Yeah.
Tell us the story of how you met.
So this is one of the summers in IIT when in IIT what happens is that when your project is unfinished during a semester, the professor generally asks you to stay over for a summer project to finish that project. And I had an unfinished project during one of my semesters, and Binny also incidentally had an unfinished project, and our professors asked us to stay back for our
smarter ones who finished theirs went home for vacation.
And we were alone. And I actually did not expect anybody to be in the college at that time, and I was surprised to see Binny in the lab. And then I think for the first few days we were just maybe thought that the other person will just go away. Right? They're just there for a few days. But then we started talking, and we actually realized that we were from the same city.
Was there anything similar between the projects you were doing? Because both of you were from computer science.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both were hardware
Both
projects.
were projects in hardware, but of very different nature.
What were you doing?
I was building and optimizing tool in hardware for an image processing software.
For what kind of application?
For automotive applications.
I see.
Yeah.
Like
In
self-driving cars and
yeah.
stuff.
Self-driving cars. And what about you?
So I was working on a very small project of a very small part of that of a Navy project, Indian Navy project that the IIT-Delhi had taken up. My professor had taken up, and I was contributing to that.
So, what were the first conversations like? The reason I'm pushing at it is that tech businesses, tech entrepreneurship has a unique ability to bring partnerships together. Almost everything that's worked around the world was a partnership of equals.
Yeah.
So how did it start? The thought, the idea, how did you break ice?
I think I'm not sure about Binny, but I was very sure that I wouldn't want to start up a company back in college at least. I mean, everybody is in a race to get in a job,
Right.
And we were the same, and we were not nobody, and there were not enough role models, I would say, for us to really think that okay, I can be an entrepreneur as well. I can start a company as well. I think that was a big one, and most of our successful seniors were either gone to IIS or gone to IIMs and gone abroad doing PhDs.
Or masters and PhDs.
And that's what the general trend was, and that's what was expected. And but there was something in me which we said that we don't want to, that I actually decided that no, I don't want to go out of India. I don't know whether it was my attachment with parents or whether it was just that I couldn't get an opportunity which was good enough or which was great enough for me to take that leap. But largely, I think somehow I decided to stay back in India. And when I stayed back and I started working for these back office tech shops of these MNCs in India. That is when I realized that actually
You worked for Amazon.
I worked for Amazon Web Services.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
But before that, someplace else.
Before that at Sarna, which was similar to my BTech project in hardware and image processing.
Yeah, and I pulled him into Amazon.
And then Sachin actually referred to me in Amazon.
I see. So that was his ref check.
But then both of us realized that I think this back office thing is just not working out.
Yeah.
So do people at Amazon ever say to you, "हमको छोड़ के चले गए"? You left us and now you are our competitors.
I don't think so. I think that's not how most people would think, because I mean, building a Flipkart is actually a very rare event. I mean, I'm sure, and we would not have ever thought that this would happen.
We would come
here this far. I think I think the chances, the odds of this happening are so low that I think I don't think anybody can say that.
And yet, what you people have done, Flipkart being only one, but when I say you people, I mean several people like you, that you are now completely changing the way many businesses are done in India and in the rest of the world now.
Yeah. So we truly believe in the power of transformational power of technology, and I think we think it is just getting started, especially in India, with internet and smartphones growing at the pace at which they are growing. And we believe all sectors, from retail, finance, transportation, even probably agriculture, I think all sectors will undergo a huge transformation over the next 5 years. India will be a very, very different country in the next 5 to 10 years than it is today.
Give me some examples of how you think it could be different.
So take shopping itself for example, right? 5 years back, what you could get in a tier 2 city was a selection, probably some brands of clothes, some brands of electronics, 3-4 brands. Today, the same selection of brands in electronics, fashion, everything is available all across India at a touch of a button, right? So it's completely transformed the way people shop. They don't need to come. People used to come from Kashmir to Delhi to buy books.
Yeah.
Today they don't need to do that at all. Right? So it's a complete transformation of people's lives. That you have access to all the products you ever need at a touch of a button.
So tell us something about the startups that I believe you have mostly jointly invested.
Yeah, so we have invested in one of these startups called Grey Orange, which is building robotics and automation solutions for logistics and warehousing. And it's doing a lot of deep research in these areas, and probably one of the 3-4 companies in the world who can do that. So very, very interesting company. Then there is Ather Energy, building electric internet-enabled electric bikes.
I mean, what are internet-enabled electric bikes? Electric, I can understand you can charge it, but internet-enabled कैसे होता है?
Internet-connected electric bikes. I mean, you can always, the bike will continue to send data back to the server about its status.
So for servicing,
you just press a button and somebody will come.
So you
and
will
service
always
it.
know that when it needs to be serviced, and the bike will tell you when it needs to be serviced. It will basically collect data from all the various parts of the bike.
Tech and the art of motorcycle maintenance becomes obsolete.
Very different. And electric as well. And I think a lot of paradigms will change. 10 years later, we will be surprised we will look back and say, we used to do that. we used to fill our vehicles with this combustible fuel and then drive it at high speeds on a highway and in metal containers. Like that's what we'll look back and see. Or we used to carry these mobile phones in our hands. And communication was not just like something that just happens.
And mobile phone will change.
It will change completely.
What do you see it becoming? I believe you've seen some cutting edge ideas and research.
I think anybody's guess is as good as mine. I think over there, I believe that technology will just melt away into the background. It will just be there with you when you need it. You don't have to carry it around, or you don't have to specifically think that I'm using technology. I think that's how I believe it will happen. Exactly how it will manifest is something that we'll have to.
So the wretched fellow will read your mind?
Probably, yeah. Why not? Why not? It will read your mind. It will know what you want. It will be your like personal assistant all the time.
Mind, moods.
Possibly. Why not? I mean, if human beings can. So another interesting stat is by 2030, in $1,000, you should be able to buy compute power worth which is as powerful as a human brain. Now, if in $1,000 you are able to buy that compute power, which means that you can do crazy, like really crazy amount of stuff with that, which is if
like
a brain
write poetry.
Write poetry, maybe. Yes, actually, it's actually happening. For example, a lot of times we are using some of these paradigms ourselves, where a computer will first parse a email. Let's say if you are a customer and you have sent a complaint email to us, we will parse that email, and computer will know what is the mood of the customer.
I see.
And then parse it out and put it out in a format which a customer support agent can consume, and then.
So how many mails do you get that makes the computer think that the customer is really furious?
Very few, thankfully.
Yeah.
We try to keep our service standards really high.
Yeah.
So tell us about some more of your investee companies, as you say. And what do you think before putting your money, because your money is very hard earned, sort of recent money, and you are good banias, so you value it. So what do you think before investing in a company?
I think the most important thing we look at is obviously the team. I think the entrepreneurs and what are they driven by, their passion, and what is their vision. Yes. I think that's most important, because what we have seen is that ideas change, people pivot to different ideas, but if the team is really motivated and strong,